This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield.
Yeah, it's hard right now. It's tough. It sucks. You want to crawl in a hole and die. But this could be the best thing that's ever happened to you.
Justin Burke.
Then we actually take better care of her than our plants.
Oh, you're talking about Susan. You're back on that?
Yeah.
And Mitchell O'Brien.
I watered all of the plants. All of them.
It is the 23rd of February, 2024. My name's Corey Winfield, and this is the 217 Recovery Podcast, joined in the North Studio by Justin Burke.
What up?
And Mitchell O'Brien.
It's good to be back.
Nice. Got the plants all watered.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The mouse, Susan, her cage is taken care of.
Always.
It's a fun Friday.
Hell yeah.
So we're going to have today. It's a fun Friday. Justin, you're actually off today.
Yep.
Yep. How's that vacation time going?
Poorly. I have major commitment issues.
I love it when you take time off and then you never get to take it off. It's beautiful.
I know.
It's like what a boss wants to see. Besides
Commitment.
ass kissing on social media, which by the way, you know,
This guy.
there's a difference between ass kissing and flattery. You know, someone trying to flatter you, that's actually quite offensive. You know, but if you genuinely mean it, which I think Justin does mean it, you know, because I'm pretty good boss, you know, I must say.
I mean,
it's pretty good, no boss over here.
The timing was sus for me.
Yeah, it was.
What, after my disappointment of last week?
Oh, I mean, I forgot about that, but
No, you didn't. It's so funny because like every week we do check-ins. You know, we sit down and we do them together, and we go over a check-in sheet. You know, like what's your obstacles, what's the good things happening. You know, what's some goals. And you guys started like battling each other of who had like the most
Self-pity?
SG sheets, you know, and obstacles and self-pity. And you're like, oh, Justin, you were whining on yours. And you're like, oh, yeah, well, you whined on yours too about, I don't know how to do this, or I need more time to do this. And it was just back and forth. And
where I was coming from is you put what our obstacle is, and so I put an obstacle in there, and somebody in this room put his whole sheet, the goals and everything, where I'm not gonna fail everybody again or disappoint my boss. And
I didn't say all that.
bro.
Got your ass.
yeah.
So just put your whining in the whining slot. Obstacles. That's all I'm saying.
I think we all mess up. I mean, it's fact of life. It's how we learn.
It's human nature.
You know, I messed up with the IRS. Yeah, it's never good. And it wasn't a mess up. It just was late. I was on Corey time, and the IRS was like, we don't play Corey time.
No, they don't.
Here's your fine. And I was like, but we don't even pay you taxes. Like, what?
You're like, that's why we're getting a fine.
I was like, holy cow, man. Like, that's a kick in the nuts.
Yeah.
But I learned. I
bet
did
you
learn.
did.
My God. So, yeah, that sucks. So, you know, everybody makes mistakes, whatever, but it's just, are they repeated?
2 out of 3 people have issues with the IRS.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Just statistically in this room.
Well, I mean, you don't have an issue with them?
No, I got money back. I'm gonna get money back every year. Get my taxes done, money back.
And I had to pay them so they could send money to Ukraine this year, too, bastards.
That's fucked up.
Like, Michigan, I was like, cool. I mean, it kind of evened out, but still, it's like, why do I got to pay the feds to send money to Ukraine or wherever else they're sending it? You know, like,
That's real.
Pisses me off.
How does that even work?
Like, can I just keep my 700 and they can send someone else's money over there?
Right.
Like, I don't even know what's going on. And this radio station I listen to out of Dallas, like the morning show, and I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's real in the world sometimes. You know, like when Kyrie Irving came out, the basketball player, plays for Dallas, when he came out and said, I believe the world's not round. And he wasn't really saying that. He was just saying he doesn't have enough information on his own. And if he went around believing what everybody told him, he'd be the stupid person, you know? And I think a lot of times people just believe what people tell them. Okay, yeah. You know, if you saw a TV commercial and you're like, this is the best Ford ever because it has the toughest.
Heated tailgate?
No. No. It has the toughest new titanium to put on the sides of it so it don't rust out like every other piece of Ford crap does, you know? and you'd be like, damn, it's got that new titanium. And you would start telling people that. You don't know that for sure. You weren't the scientist who put it together. You know, you didn't make the new titanium rust proof, because clearly Ford, they don't care about your Ford rusting away. They kind of pride themselves in that. They're like, I think at their meetings at Ford, they just sit down and go, you know what we need? We need a car that's going to run about 20 years, but only last about 4 years on the outside. That way people know that's Ford tough.
And then dissolve like eco-friendly toilet paper.
Yeah, and you know what we'll do? We'll get that guy that goes out to them dirty jobs places. We'll get him to voice it, because people like him.
He's
Right.
American.
Yeah, he's Ford tough. Built Ford tough. Yeah, America. And we just sell that up north and we'll be fine. The South people from the South, they'll buy it anyway because it's tough and they like rust anyway. They get pissed off when their stuff doesn't rust.
Them Northern Michigan people, they're SOL because it's just gonna not even exist.
Yeah, but my point though is, I don't even know. I was talking about Kyrie Irving and believing stuff that you're told.
Right.
And what was before that? We got like somebody leaving a long message on our answering machine right now.
Yeah,
So I was
we
trying
did.
to kind of talk over that so like people wouldn't hear the whole message and then start calling the person back. And I'm still trying to do that right now, but we'll see if that
because it's still going.
if that helps or not. I mean, whatever they need,
That was
clearly we
long-winded.
are not going to provide it at this moment.
Sorry in
Because we're
advance.
trying to figure out what I was even talking about. So
I believed you because you told me.
yeah, well, that actually was really happening. But with was I talking about the governor or something?
No.
Well, it started with sending the money to Ukraine, and I was
Yeah.
thinking,
Oh yeah.
I was thinking, why can't they
yes.
send the donut shops money to Ukraine?
Exactly, man. Like they closed down for a day because they cared about something. I don't remember what it was.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
something
what it
totally
was.
different. But my point though is that I don't really know. All I know is what's on TV, what people are telling me, and I heard one person say, "Well, Putin was just bored and decided he was going to attack him. He's crazy." Like, so he's just sitting around one day and like, I'm bored. Let's just attack this other country. Then I heard it was like a bunch of other things. Then I heard there were like terrorist attacks included. I don't even know. I don't know if that's true either. But I just don't believe what's on TV in this radio station I listen to every day. Like, the guy makes a reference about how Russia's out there killing kids and killing this and killing that. Well, it depends what country you talk to. They would say the same thing about us. And like yesterday, when the whole AT&T, all the cell phones, like not ours, but like cell phones were like shutting down, and so one of our top officials, supposedly, I heard it from the same radio station, said that we could expect to be hacked. We expect China or Russia to attack our infrastructure and they'll go after our cell towers and hack into them and stuff. And
Chinese.
and Russia.
Okay.
That's what they said. So it must be true, right? But, you know, and my whole counterpoint to that is, okay, so why would they expect that? Did China catch us hacking into theirs? Probably. Because I'm sure we're hacking into some shit. You know, so like if we caught they fly a freaking weather balloon. That's how old school they are. You know, they're like, look at this up here. Meanwhile, they're
The old bait and switch.
yeah. And yeah, I guarantee you we're doing it. And wouldn't you want to be doing it? So at the same time, you know, you take someone from China or these other countries, wouldn't you want your country to be doing that?
Well,
And if somebody attacked us, what do you think we would do?
think about this.
Shit.
The government wants its people to believe certain things and do certain things. So how does that look? You have a government that wants you to hate another government. So create a big bad wolf. And then create a situation that big bad wolf is doing to make other people afraid. So then your people will now back you to go and do what you want to them.
Because you made them live in fear.
Yeah. So am I saying that's what's happening?
That's all fear.
No, but I'm saying that
Oh, it
it
happens.
feels like it's happening.
Oh, it happens. Because our news is very one-sided against, let's just say, Putin. You know, we only ever hear about the bad things he does. We don't ever hear about anything good that he does.
I don't
Like,
know.
I watched his interview with Tucker, and it was quite,
Tucker Carlson.
yeah, and it was quite informational. I felt, you know, he gave a long history of Russia, and you know, and said that he tried making peace with like the United States with multiple different presidents, and it got him nowhere. You know, he's always been shunned as like a horrible person when he just tries to help, and because he claims that he's the biggest landmass country there is in the world. so everyone feels threatened by him.
I feel more threatened than the fact that he's a president.
Using air quotes there.
Yeah. How long has he been the president?
20-some years.
Yeah, that's not a presidential like.
Well, that's just because that's what we were brought up and raised in. You know, our government only does 4-year terms.
Yeah, we like to share our scamming.
That's
you know, and that's what we do.
that's
you know?
an emperor. That's
Doesn't make it wrong. You know,
it
and
don't make it
just because
wrong.
you're not like us, you know,
Yeah.
like, and we're not. I'm not saying Putin's good or bad. I don't know. You know, and has he done bad things? Absolutely. Has his country done bad things? America? Oh, absolutely. You know, like there's nobody who's just sitting over there, maybe Sweden or something, of just clean hands going, hey.
Canada.
No.
That's Canada.
No,
No,
Canada
war
kicks us
crimes,
out.
yeah.
Yeah. You can't go there drunk driving charge or something. I don't remember. But I don't even like Canada. I don't even want to go to Canada. There's nothing there for me. Thanks. You can tell that to your prime minister. So you think about that.
your fake ass eyebrows.
Yeah. Ain't nobody trying to stop for no mounted police. Come on, buddy. I'll even pull you over. Like, take your hat off, son.
I got picked up by Canadian police once. I think
Bet
I
you
talked
did.
about that on the podcast once.
Were you wearing your bear mask?
No.
Bear.
I was
You went
16
to
years
go
old.
Buy dirty magazines.
Oh.
Let's hear the story about the mounted police getting
Well,
you.
now that I'm pretty sure that none of my family actually listened. So, 16 years old, went to Canada with my best friend and his family and another family that we knew through church.
Okay.
And they were going to be there for 2 weeks. I had my first job at the time. I could only get 1 week off. And so we were camping right on northern Lake Superior, not far from like Sault Ste. Marie, like an hour up the coast. And like our campsite was like right on Lake Superior. It was right there.
Right.
Awesome.
And so we were in this rustic campground, and about half a mile down the road was where the camp store, but it wasn't like any camps or like campgrounds in America, because it was kind of like what we know as a party store. And then there was a post office, and then like a boutique, and you could get your currency exchanged there.
So it was like a general store.
But there were like 3 separate stores, all right there. But it was also where you went to like the campground office to like get your campsite. Either way, you had to walk down like the highway if you wanted to get there walking. And so my friend and I would do that every once in a while. And they're just a little bit more loose right up there with their magazines that a teenage boy would enjoy. So we were down there buying snacks.
I'm getting that new Dick Hunter magazine.
We didn't swing that way, but anyway, so we got our treasures in our plastic bag from the store, and we're talking about how we're going to sneak back into our campsite and our tents, and so we didn't get caught by the parents. And all of a sudden, this cop pulls up behind us. Yeah. It was a regular cop car. I was expecting a guy in a red suit on a moose, but
We're like, what are you trying to stop us for, officer?
and we're just these 2 basically kids that have never really been in trouble before. So we're looking at him, and he waves us over. We're on the side of this highway.
I'd have waved him over.
Yeah.
Why don't you come over here, buddy?
My dumbass friend goes to the roadside. And the cop's like, no, over there, idiot. And like rolls his window down. So we go over there and we're like, hello, officer. None of us have dealt with police on any kind of a real way.
You
Other
guys
than
are,
like,
are religious as hell, right?
yeah, or we,
Right.
We
we
do not
met
tell a
at
lie, but
church.
we like titties.
That was the whole thing. Is I'm sitting there with what I think is like a arrestable offense in my hand, and it's just a like Sports Illustrated bikini edition, whatever.
Oh, it wasn't even like
It wasn't even the good one, but I mean, you didn't need that when you were a church teenager. That was like good enough, really.
depends what church you went to, I guess.
Well, he says that there's some 2 dudes that were harassing women back at the little store place that we were walking from, and we told him, well, no, our parents are right over here, or his parents are right over here, and we're just walking back. He's like, all right, get in, and I'll take you over there and verify your story. Because he said the dudes were older, but since we were 2 male, he wanted to make sure.
So he was age profiling,
Yeah, pretty much.
or
Yeah.
gender profiling 2
Yeah.
males.
So we roll into our campsite in this police car, and my buddy's dad is standing right there. And he was pretty nice guy. He was a science teacher or science biology, I can't remember, over in Kingsley here. And the look on his face is priceless. I'll never forget it because it just looked like, what in the hell did you two do? I'm going to kill you.
Like totally appalled.
Yeah. And just, even though we're a little bit nervous because of our sassy magazines that we have with us, we both had just this big, huge smile on our faces because we know we're not actually in trouble with the cop. And we're sitting in the back seat of this cop car pulling up to this campsite, just like. And then he lets us out, and he's like, "All right, go. I'm going to talk to your dad." And so the dad comes over, and we scurry off to
hide the magazine
underneath the mattress of the cotton in our tent, and scot free with that one. He's like, "I thought you guys were in actual trouble," and I was like, "Well, neither of us have ever actually done anything, but yeah."
Thought it was going to be a good story.
It was a good story for me.
I mean, that's a good story, Mitch. I'm glad you told it. And that's is that the story you're going to tell at Recovery Stories?
Yeah, I think so. That's when it started. Yeah.
Okay, because we do have an event coming up. It's less than a week away. It's Thursday, 29th of February. And you guys are both telling the story part of it, which is supposed to be 3 to 5 minutes long. Mm-hmm. And you don't tell your whole story. There was a guy that took the training with us when I took the training, actual training. And that's the thing. Like, I took a training for it. You guys have not. So I kind of feel bad that I'm just throwing you guys up there to be like, hey, go do it and don't suck. But we're going to practice on it today, I think. But me and, like, I don't know, the other 4 people that went, we did the training and we did it and it was good. And the fact that you guys are going up there and hopefully you can tell a pretty good story. But I'm just killing time because Mitch was moving his microphone because we heard someone come in. We were trying to figure it out. So I was just...
It was your wifey.
Yeah, just adding...
filler.
Nothing messaging. I'm adding Mitch stories to the podcast here. Just
it's still a formative memory of mine. I got picked up by the cops in Canada. It was fun.
Okay, note to self: never mention Canada and the mounted police again. So I'm never going to Canada anyway. So who cares? But are you guys ready for your story? Though I guess was my question.
Yeah.
Too.
I feel more ready than I think you think I feel.
Okay. Have you timed it?
I have not. Other than when we did it.
Time mine.
Any of you guys been practicing it in the car?
Yeah.
What do you think I do with all my free time in the car?
You call him Mitchell.
Yeah, most of
always.
it.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, so Rose J, who's going to be telling the story, also she's coming in today to practice her stuff and get it all good to go. But I think it'll be fine, and I just kind of worry that there'll be too many people there. But the first one, if you haven't seen it yet, the video's out. It's on YouTube. There's a link to that at 217recovery.com. It's like an hour long, but the recovery stories, like I said, are 3 to 5 minutes. And then we have speakers. We have Jeff and we have Mike, which will be really, really good. I'm really excited about that. And then we have our tubing event coming up. That's on March 6th.
Yep.
So we got some things kind of back to back, sort of, which keeps us busy. And that's just the phone, Mitch, if you can hear it. Through the, yeah, people do call us. Like, we do work here. And when you come to my office, sometimes I say, let's do a podcast. And then we do it. And then we spend the first 20 minutes talking about other stuff. And then we dive right into recovery when we got your ass. No, but we do. And that's kind of part of the podcast. When I was explaining the podcast to the last people I did one with, when I was in Detroit for the training, I kind of told them, it's like, look, we're not going to be, doctor, counselor, therapist, even though Marnie's a therapist. But we don't come on at this podcast with that approach. We're about having fun in recovery, about doing fun things and admitting things to ourselves when we need to be held accountable. Are you doing enough just to get by, or are you doing enough to accomplish your goals? Like if you take that into consideration on some of the stuff you do, you'll realize, like, well, maybe I don't even need to be doing that. If I'm just half-assing it, if I'm just going through the motions, well, maybe this isn't the motion I need to be going through. I mean, Justin, you saw when I was putting that. I have a new
your new
camera cabinet that keeps my camera, because they were just on the floor and I always try to step on them and run them over and with my chair. And I was like, man, I got to do something about that. So I bought this case and I put it together. We get it all the way together pretty much. And on the back, because I have to have lights on everything apparently, and they have like these little quarter-size holes for you to put your lights through on each shelf. So there's like 3 or 4 of them. Well, the back one, I had told Marty about, do something, and I grabbed it and I put it on wrong. So it was on the other side. So like, okay, so imagine if you're looking at a shelf. On the right-hand side, you get whole top right-hand corner, top right-hand corner, top right-hand corner, bottom left. And I was like, shit.
That's funny.
And I was like, well, you got to do it. Marty's, well, no. I'm like, nope. I mean, if you're going to do it right. You know, so we flipped it back over, took it apart, flipped it, put it all back together. But, you know, why half-ass it? Why have it look stupid? And I'm glad that I did. Otherwise, I'd be sitting here every day walking and going, why didn't I just do that the right? Yeah, it would have taken me another 15 minutes, but it would have been done right. You know, I think a lot of people want to take that easy way, even when you realize, damn it. That's all right. And some things you can do that with. That's fine. But I'm just saying, for me, it works out better because every day I would walk in here, I'd be like, why did I do that? And now I got too much stuff in it. And, but that's just one example that you can give of like real life. Like, how are you really doing things? How are you really living your life? How are you really approaching things? And if you can ask yourself that, and not everything's going to be perfect, you're not going to be 100% at it, but it'll kind of help you move forward with what you're doing and what you want to do just by how you do the little things sometimes.
I'm definitely going to think about that because you stared me right in the eyes while you said all of it.
It's trying to make my
You
point.
look right into your soul.
It's trying to prove my point, man. No, because some people just have a different take on things.
Well, that little plaque that's right next to my office that says, "Are you doing enough to get by? Where are you doing enough to exceed your goals?"
You inspired that to be made.
If you didn't
I'm
say
sure
it,
I did.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, you don't have to be sure. Like, it was. I remember that day.
Yeah, and because I think you needed a reminder, so I gave you one. And it was, I'm sure somebody has said that before, but it wasn't like search sayings that are cool. No, that was like me typing that out, putting it on something, and I think I put on 2 fingers, like, or hands touching each other, or grabbing or reaching for each other, or something. I put a little 217 on there.
Little 217 tattoos.
I remember printing that out too, and I'm like, think he'll understand what I'm talking about? Mitch was like, I think so. Pretty sure.
You're like, I'm sure you put it there because of me. And I remember the day where Corey's like, I am putting this here because of Justin.
Was I really that bad when we started?
Yeah.
The thing about that, though, Justin, is when, and I like this about you, is if there is a mistake, if there is, you realize that you're maybe not doing something to the fullest, or you need to change how you're doing something. When Corey tells you to do it, you make an effort to do better and change, and I appreciate that. So
I think that's how all employees should be when your employer tells you this is how you should be doing it, and I expect it to be this way.
Mm-hmm.
You should conform to that and not go against the grain.
Yeah, look, we have a very unique situation with the 217 Recovery Center and with what we do as a recovery community organization. And there's a lot of fun that we have, and there's a lot of chances for it. And there's a lot of like little things that are just kind of get you like, oh, geez, really? But at the end of the day, man, this is a really cool job to have. Mm-hmm. And were you that bad? I don't know. But I noticed it, and I expected more from you. And they say don't have expectations, but I don't want to see people half-assing things. And I know you're capable of more. Like when you first started writing blogs, first I started out like, hey, this will be a fun game and get everybody involved. And then get you guys familiar with writing things that you're not familiar with writing about, you know. And I gave you guys all kinds of crazy ass topics, but I let you choose it out of the options I gave you. Right. But still, it made you feel like, well, at least I have some say in this, which will make people want to do it more. And you didn't want to get stuck with the last one because you're like, oh no, that one's horrible. And you guys made the most of it, and then you had fun with it. And now you guys both write really, really good blogs. I mean, there was a while, Justin, I was giving you 1 star every week.
Yeah.
You know, and then I was like, all right, well, I want you guys to write a blog every week.
Those were the ones that came in, and I just snuck right into my office. And
Busted one out.
Yep, busted one out. And you could tell.
Yeah, you could. And that's kind of what I was referring to with the other stuff. It was just like, you were doing just enough to get by. You know, you weren't going above and beyond. You were just kind of like, hey, I'm here. It's cool. We made it. Let's go. And It's like, no, we're just getting started, man. And I need you guys, I need you to do these things. And I need you to be this kind of way. And, we're more than just a recovery center that holds meetings. We're more than recovery coaches, like we can live our lives in recovery and put it out there just like I do with a podcast. And we can put it out there with things that we write about and talk about, like real life stuff with your daughter, with your son, like stuff that you guys are going through. That's how other people will connect with us. If somebody out there has a 15-year-old son who keeps getting caught with weed, pipes or whatever, not pipes, they're vapes.
Pens.
Yeah, whatever. At school, there's somebody on our staff that you can relate to. I know it for a fact. There is somebody on our staff that will relate to you, and you can talk to them, and they'll be like, well, I don't know either. And you guys can brainstorm. There's people out there with daughters who talk back, there's people out there that have ex-wives who, when the kids go over there, it's like, I don't want to say Peter Pan, but it's just like this, blah, the kids running around. Yeah, free for all. There we go. Peter Pan, free for all. And then they come back to you on the weekend and you're like, what the hell? Like, and you got to lay down the law again because they're just all wild ass. And that would be frustrating for me as a parent. I'd be like, look, I get the kid dialed in, goes to the moms or the dads or whoever, the other parent. And then they come back to you and the grades are bad, like everything, the attitude. And you're just like, whoa, I thought we fixed this. Like, this is what you got to do. And you set up and you see the next week and it's the same thing. And you're like, what is going on, man? That would be frustrating as hell. There's people out there that can relate to that and that know exactly what I'm talking about. And there's somebody on our staff.
Multiple people on our staff.
Oh, yeah. That could definitely help you with that. And then there's like people who are just cool as hell, and I can relate to them. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Got your ass.
Yeah, just kidding. But that's the beauty of it, and that's what I really want us to put out there because we're more than just helping the people that we come in contact with every single day. There's people that we will never meet that have listened to us, have read our stuff, that maybe take something from that. And that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of media, and especially, and I'm not going to say social media, but some of it, and how people get their information, like we were talking about earlier, if you heard it on TV, it's true. That's dangerous. And some of that social media stuff's dangerous too. But if they can take it from us, who we have nothing to gain.
No.
We're just getting stuff off our chest and trying to help people and tell you what we're going through. And did we deal with it right? No. And here's what we did. And here's what we didn't do. And maybe next time we'll do this. Does that mean that you need to do that exact same thing? Absolutely not. Because it's different for everybody. But I don't know if, and I got a son on the way. And it scares me seeing what you guys go through sometimes. It really does. And I'm just like, oh no. Is he going to be the preacher's daughter? I don't know. That's probably weird for some people. They're like, what are you talking about? And some people might know what I'm talking about.
Take some solace, though, or comfort in the fact that you are going to have a 2-parent family structure.
Yeah.
Knock on wood. Hopefully.
I'll knock on some for you.
Thank you. Yeah, and that's the plan of it all. But everybody has plans. This will work out forever, and I'm sure it will. I mean, Marty and I, we got married later in life. We knew what we wanted. We knew what we didn't want. But still, adding another person into the mix changes everything. And hopefully I'll be good enough to handle that and to be a good father and a good husband at the same time.
I can't wait until you're at home alone all by yourself and he just blows his diaper out.
Oh man, I saw a commercial for that the other day. It was like Pampers 360 or something that prevents blowouts.
Poop everywhere.
I'm gonna get them 360s.
Yeah,
because if you see it on TV, it's true. Just like that new Ford Titanium that's never gonna rust.
I was about to say I hate to burst your bubble, but them diapers,
they blow out.
They blow out.
It's blowout prevention.
The 360 came out before my son was born, and hopefully they've improved.
Maybe it's the 360 then.
360.
It goes around and just a little bit more.
Does it go by the Xbox? The Pampers X now.
And the sad part, you won't even know he did it because he'll be like in his little bouncy chair or something. You go pick him up and you'll be like, "Oh my god!" what happened.
That'll be laying there in his little crib, just looking at you all adorable, smiling because
Doo-doo everywhere.
and you just pick him up, and it's from the back of his head down to his
God.
toes, and you don't even know until you pick him up, and now it's on your hands.
Everything's just gonna be thrown away. I can see lots of bedding.
And then there's the kids who get a little bit older, and then they start finger painting on the wall with it, and
doo-doo paint all over your walls.
just paint your walls brown.
We were actually looking at the room last night, and we had Jill, who's our landlady here at the 217 Recovery Center. She and her husband, they have like this building thing where they build homes and do all kinds of stuff. And we had her over because we were like, we want to do this. Because, there's some things that we want to kind of do, touch up. Because the house we bought, the people half-assed everything in that when they were fixing it or painting it. I mean, some of it's beyond half-assing, just ignorance. So it's kind of like cool to have people in there looking at it too, shaking their head going, we don't know what they were thinking with that, But we were picking out like a light gray/white paint for Parker's room. And I was thinking like, don't they make stuff that's like marker free or crayon free or
They do
or something? Or do we just say whatever?
They don't do that. The markers and the crayons on the wall, they don't do that in their room. It's going to be in your kitchen. It's going to be on your hallway, in your living room, where the first place that somebody who walks in your house looks at. That's where their canvas is.
So they're going to want to put their artwork.
Might as well just chalkboard paint it.
That's abstract.
Right.
Those rooms that have like trim halfway up the wall. Just do that, but just with that chalkboard paint. So just all the way around. People are like, oh, I like the two-tone. You're like, yeah, it's the one you all over the place and just wipe it off.
Be interesting. And I figured now it would probably be a good time to announce our new little project that I signed you guys up for.
I'm excited.
I am too.
We should leave that as a surprise until it launches.
Okay.
Like up and coming.
Yeah, up and coming
It's the teaser.
surprise.
Yeah,
Just
we
a
have-
little tickler we got going on.
We have
Right.
something coming it's going to be a lot more structured than this podcast, but it will be something of that sort. But it will be structured a lot more, and it actually has a purpose. Like this podcast was to keep me sober, to have fun, talk about my recovery and talk about my life in recovery. But we'll just leave it there. Something coming. You should be excited for.
You already told them it's basically a podcast.
Bro and broette. How come we don't call women broettes? Because we just call them bro.
Dudettes.
I know, that's what I'm
Back in
saying.
the day.
We just call them bro. Which, by the way, women love to be called bro right before they break up with you. Because that's what happens. Like, don't call a woman bro. Hey, bro. Or man. You know what I'm saying, man?
I've almost broken up with somebody for calling me bro. I'm like, I'm not your bro when we're dating. I'm not some dude. Like, you call me.
What did he say
special
then?
name.
What did he say then?
What? Got my ass. I was born with mine, but I'm glad I can identify it now.
Oh, is that what he said?
I come right in. I'm very sneaky about it. You'll be talking to someone, and I'll just come in and sit at my desk and just bust one out real quick.
He didn't say that either, did he?
No. Nope.
That was the whole wrong button. Sorry, a little too fun with the mouth. I'm all like lean back in my office chair here, just like hitting it with my pinky, just like. Yeah, that didn't work out very well.
Oh, it's good.
That didn't.
We got Pimp C in the office.
I can do that now.
My
too.
son was God. Like they're like that shouldn't have happened. Like it, I don't know how. You know what I mean? Like, but
I think that typically happens with intercourse there, Adam.
Yeah, I think that's what you told him when he said that.
the whole clip you do. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's intercourse. I was like, I remember the activities that led to my son pretty well.
Right.
Want to talk about it?
No, I really
Or do
don't.
you want to save that for maybe another podcast?
An up and coming project.
No way.
Yes. But we'll go ahead and keep that a secret for now,
Yeah,
Justin.
we should.
We should. We shouldn't talk about it
You guys
anymore.
brought it halfway out of the bag already.
It's like, we
It
just
doesn't
don't know the
matter.
name of it, but we pretty much could tell you what it's going to be about.
Let's just leave with that little bit of mystery.
All right.
Yeah. And then also cool thing with it, if it is like something like this that we're doing right now, but it'll be filmed.
I got to work on my camera body.
We're going to be at Cabela's every Saturday. I don't know, man. We're going to be at Duke's Motor Oil Shop. Be in the garage. That's
Justin
something.
keeps the motor oil under his desk.
I see that.
Yeah.
It's out of the way. There's not room in their closet for it.
There could be.
We need some shelves.
Yeah, I need some cleaning, some organization. Some women here. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. Come on.
Cricket.
Come on.
I almost got beat up by this kid for snoring, but I was like 4 times the size. So, I mean,
Yeah. So I don't say stuff like that.
yeah.
I don't get beat up by people. But this is a fun day for us to have, and you guys are going to start your recovery stories to stuff. You're practicing, I guess you could say. So we'll do a fun Friday, and thanks you guys for coming on the podcast. I really appreciate it, and I needed to get a couple laughs in today, and definitely did that and got some stuff off my chest, and
That's good.
I feel better.
I'm glad you feel better because when you feel better, the workplace is a better place.
Oh, thanks. And I appreciate you not ever taking days off.
I know.
I mean, it's cute that you put in for them, but
In your supportive social media posts.
yeah, about how awesome your boss is. Keep that going. One day one day I'm just gonna pull from your check-in sheets and just be like, who said this?
That'll be the game.
Yeah.
Like who that should be in our new project.
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious. Have a day of who said it. It'll be like a game.
And then we'll have Marnie be the judge.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
Yeah. Details coming soon. But if you haven't checked out the Recovery Stories event, do so. It's, like I said, on YouTube. Easy link to it at 217recovery.com. Thanks for listening, and we will talk to you later.
Later.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the 217 Recovery Podcast. We hope you come back for our next episode.